Hello beautiful people, it is Sunday the 4th of June. It's a beautiful day today. Everybody is outside, everybody but me. Now I've got a huge to-do list to get through today, so I thought, you know what, it's been such a long time since I've turned my camera on, so I'm gonna take you with me. A lot of these things are bookish themed. But before that, yesterday I was out of town. I went to Hay-on-Wye. If you've never heard of Hay-on-Wye, it's known as the bookish capital of the UK. It's on the border of Wales and England, and it was just the best day trip ever. I went to Hay Festival and then I went book shopping around the cute little town. So I'm gonna insert some footage here.
Just where he was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing. Faces mention change, but your face remains the same. Swallows will be here by dawn.
I showed incredible restraint yesterday. I only ended up buying 3 books in Hay-on-Wye, which for me is just unheard of. I'm a deeply unwell person when it comes to buying books. My TBR is out of hand. It is insane. I believe it's in the hundreds now, and I'm on a little bit of a book buying ban. So 3 books for me, pretty good, pretty good. I could have bought more, I didn't. I had self-control. The first book I picked up is The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. Now, I actually don't know too much about this book, but I did read Octavia E. Butler's other book called Kindred, which ended up being one of my favourite reads of all time. So I've been dying to jump back into her work. I believe we follow a character called Lauren, and she's got this amazing ability where she can feel the pain of others. And she starts documenting everything into this journal, everything she sees that's broken in this world, and that sounds really interesting to me. The next book I picked up is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Now this book has been on my TBR forever, and when I saw this stunning edition with the gold foiling, I was like, you know what, for $4.95, yes please. It's a tiny book. We follow a prophet and all the inhabitants of this land are asking him questions, and it's all documented into this book. I believe it's written in the form of poetic fables, so really excited to see what this one's all about. And the final book I bought in Hay-on-Wye is a poetry collection. I went to this bookstore called The Poetry Bookshop, and this was one of the first books that caught my eye. This is Bright Dead Things by Ada Limon. I'm a poetry girly, and this was the first poetry book that caught my eye when I walked into the shop. I saw that Celeste Ng gave her thumbs up to this book. Shondaland said this book is a masterpiece, and I'm always on the hunt for new poetry books, so again, really excited to check this one out. So these are the 3 books I picked up in Hay-on-Wye. I feel like they look really cute together. Like maybe I should display them together on my bookshelf. We've got like a black and orange and white theme going on. Now on to books I'm currently reading. I'm reading Circe by Madeline Miller. I'm really late to the game with this one, but I loved Song of Achilles. I'm about halfway in. I read half of it whilst on holiday in Greece because reading a Greek mythology retelling when in Greece is just the most fitting thing ever. So far, loving it, hoping to read a few more chapters today. The next book I'm currently reading is a book that everyone is reading right now, and that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. So I've only just started this morning. All I know is that there's magic, there's dragons, it's a bit of me. Can't wait to see if it lives up to the hype. Everyone's talking about this on TikTok right now. And the audiobook I'm currently listening to is Fire Rush by Jacqueline Crooks. This has been shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. I'm reading the entire shortlist. So far this is a fabulous audio. It incorporates a lot of music, it feels very atmospheric, and I'm really enjoying it. So fingers crossed I've got some time to do some reading today, but for now I think task number 1 I'm going to tick off my list is I'm going to clean my library. It is a mess. It's a mess always by the weekend. I clean it, it stays clean. By the weekend it's a mess again. It's just something I have to do weekly. So I'm going to get that done first. The library is clean, guys. I've cleaned the library. It will stay clean for a couple days and then we're going to be doing this next week all over again. I also managed to film some TikToks, which is really good. I work 9 to 5 every single day, and then after work I usually have some plans, whether that be for book club. I've also got cinema pass, so I go to the cinema like twice a week, so I don't actually have a lot of time in the week to film TikToks. But if you do want to watch my TikToks, here's my username. Go give me a follow. So for the next hour, I think I'm going to continue with Fourth Wing. Also, I remembered that Waterstones gave me a Fourth Wing bookmark, so I've swapped that out. This is the one I will be using. So I'm going to share my thoughts after I read a little bit more of this. I'm just really excited. I'm in a reading mood, so hopefully I get a big chunk of this done. Hi everyone, it's now night time. I have been doing a questionnaire for the Women's Prize for Fiction, so if I've not mentioned it, my book club got selected to shadow read one of the shortlisted titles for the Women's Prize for Fiction. We've done that. We read Black Butterflies by Priscilla Morris. We loved it, adored it, and now it's time for us to do our questionnaire. So it's due tomorrow. I think I'm done. I'm going to reread it in the morning and get it sent off tomorrow afternoon at the latest. I also spent a little bit of time today reading. I've got the dust jacket here because I took it off Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I am on, let's take a look, chapter 4, so I'm not really that far in, and so far I am really enjoying it. I think it's going to be like a fun, quick read, and it's reminding me of the Zodiac Academy, if anyone's ever read that series. And yes, I think so far it's a little bit cheesy, but that's okay, I'm here for it. I did a dramatic reading earlier to one of my friends and realised how cheesy the dialogue is, but I think it's going to be one of those like books you get addicted to. But it is late, so I'm going to head to bed and I will check in with you tomorrow after work, where I have a call with the Women's Prize, which should be fun. Another day, another dress. So it's now the next day, it is the evening time. I've finished work and I'm just preparing for a video call that I have with the Women's Prize for Fiction. So yeah, we've got this call. This is one of the final steps before the winner is announced on the 14th of June. Fingers crossed that Priscilla wins. After this call, I need to submit our book club questionnaire and then I'm done with this whole process. It feels weird. It's such a bittersweet feeling. Like, I have enjoyed every step of the way, but once I submit that questionnaire, it's like I don't have to do anything more for this. It's been like an added thing in my life that I've had to sort of factor into my schedule. So I feel weird. But if you do want a good book recommendation, go follow Priscilla Morris on Instagram, read her book, Black Butterflies, support her. It is gorgeous, and let me know your thoughts.
Okay, so we're going to move on to group 4 now, chapter mental health. And you have been reading Pod, which again is just from a point of view that I think none of us have heard. And tell us a little bit about your book club first of all.
Yeah. So you were out.
Yeah. But then coming back to Kusa, like, as I say, I didn't connect with her, but
Yeah.
I did really appreciate how she went against the status quo then and had relationships with the enemy.
I'm now done with the video call. It was a very interesting experience. I just feel so honoured, guys. Like, this is really cool, like, for a book lover to be a part of something on this scale. Now, it is late, so for the rest of the evening, I think I'm going to jump back into Fourth Wing. I believe I got to like chapter 4 or 5 last night, and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the dialogue is a bit cheesy and cringe at times. It's not a book that's going to like change my life, but it's a book that I can feel myself getting kind of addicted to. And after reading a few heavy books back to back, it's what I need. So, gonna do a little bit more reading and I'll check in with you in a bit. Oh wait, before I let you go, I really want to show you a new book that I got recently. I have a copy of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. It is the Waterstones exclusive edition. I had the pleasure of meeting Rebecca in Liverpool. She went there to do a talk, to talk about her new book, to talk about some of the issues going on in the publishing industry, and she also did a signing afterwards. How cool is this? I got my book signed. I told her that my book club read Babel and we all absolutely adored it, and she was very appreciative of that. So yeah, this is on my June TBR. I don't have that many books on my June TBR. I'm trying to be more realistic with it, but this one I most definitely need to get to this month. So I'm in my pyjamas because I want to be comfortable. I'm going to do a little bit more reading of Fourth Wing. I am on, let's take a look, chapter 21, which is pretty much the halfway point. And the last 3 chapters have been chef's kiss. Actually, no, not chef's kiss, because this is quite a cringy book. Don't read this thinking you're going to read some masterpiece, some like proper literature. Because it's not that. It's basically a mashup of Zodiac Academy, Divergent, a lot of Divergent, some Hunger Games. It's a mashup of like really good fantasy books and dystopian books. So I don't want to give any spoilers, but I do want to talk about a few things. Number 1, dragons. If you like dragons, this book has a bunch of them. And I really like the take on the dragon in this book because they speak. I've not read many fantasy books of dragons where the dragons speak. Now, my friend has listened to this via audio and she said that it's just the weirdest thing. She said that it gave her the ick. Another thing I really want to mention is, even though this is a really fun read, like I am thoroughly enjoying this, it's very, how to describe this? Predictable. So it will mention something, for example, in the beginning of the book, this is not a spoiler by the way, but the main character's sister says, stay away from Xaden. Like, you know, Xaden will try to kill you, stay away from him. And then it's just, well, okay, you know at some point there's going to be a love line between Violet, the main character, and Xaden. Like, it's just obvious. And like one thing I was talking about with my friend is when in romantasy books, or just romance books, the main character says, oh, he's such a dick to me, like, the guy, he's so rude, oh, he's so mean, but he's so hot, like. And this book does that so much. She's like, you know, he tries to kill me and he threatens me, oh damn it, why is he so hot, like I hate myself for being attracted to him. Like, no, what? Enough of that. It's like, let's put a stop to that. But yeah, this book is a hoot. This book is a hoot, guys. I do recommend it, even though there are some questionable things in this book, even though it can be considered a little bit cringe at times. This is just, I'm having a really good time and I want everyone else to have a good time, especially because I read some heavy books prior to this and this is just like a palate cleanser. Like, read 2 heavy books, read some books about war and whatnot. Now I'm reading this. I feel healed. This book has quite a few spicy scenes. It is not for teenagers, and it's not that bad in the beginning, but the part I'm up to now, it's like I have to stay hydrated, it's too spicy. Also, our main character is called Violet, and her love interest gives her a nickname, and he's teasing her and he calls her Violence, which, first of all, world's worst nickname. Like, it's really disgusting. It makes me feel really ill. So I just think, okay, he's just making fun of her. He calls her Violence here and there. Tell me why, during the spicy scenes, he's still calling her Violence. That would make me turn violent. Like, there's a time and place, and it's not during this scene. Why am I so red? But it's now 10 PM. I'm going to call it a night with the reading. I think I'm going to go do my skincare, wash my face, head to bed. But if you're not already, go follow me on TikTok. I'll put my username on the screen. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And stay tuned for my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.